Yes, mama, yes, honey. Big Eureka and the big Rainbow House of Barefoot 2020. It's so hard to come out, but when you get the opportunity to, it can also be such a blessing. You get to be free. You get to be yourself, honey. Today, for National Coming Out Day, I'm so excited to be here with the House of Barefoot 2020. National Coming Out Day can mean a lot of things. It's about expressing yourself. It could be your gender, it could be your sexuality, it could just be you expressing how you want to be artistic.
In drag, you can call me a she. Out of drag, you can call me he.
I identify as Raja.
I identify as she, her.
I'm a trans man and my pronouns are he, him, his.
My pronouns are she, her, or daddy.
I identify as a non-binary queer.
I go by he, them, they, sometimes she, sometimes us, whatever you want to call me, as long as it's with respect.
My pronouns are she, her. I'm a fabulous trans woman, and I came out a long time ago, as in 2nd grade, at a very young age.
When it first happened, I was like, oh my gosh, everyone's gonna find out. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess everyone knows now. And since I'm out of the closet, I might as well bring a couple dresses with me. In honor of National Coming Out Day, I want to celebrate my sister, Rachel. Thanks, sis!
Honestly, it just gets easier after you tell the first person. So be brave, have some courage, and take those first steps to becoming just who you were meant to be.
I came out to a friend, not even the closest friend, but a friend named Gavin Downs, who was in my class. I had this overwhelming urge to let him know that I'm different. And he was like, I understand, and it's okay.
One of the people who embraced me the closest was actually my girlfriend from the year before. Her name was Anessa Paget. And she's now, I think, Anessa Bearden. She's married, she's got children. And she was the one who kind of made me feel okay. My junior high girlfriend did that for me.
The first time I ever came out officially, I was 15 years old, riding on the city bus with my younger brother. I felt like it was important for me to say who I was to my brother because my younger brother and I shared a very, very close bond, and hiding this part of my life just felt unfair to the relationship that we shared.
I had the pleasure of having 2 coming out stories. The first person I came out to was Winter White. She was my best friend in high school. She was also queer. She had already come out, and I thought she was so brave because she was like, badass, I don't care, I'm gonna be myself. And that gave me the courage to get on the journey to get comfortable with myself.
In our senior yearbook for the class of 97, my high school boyfriend and I were elected the class favorite for a couple of our graduating class. So it takes you being aware of who you are for you to finally be able to stand up and say, I'm out, this is who I am, and then everyone else will kind of follow along. And if they don't, then they don't come along for the ride.
First time I really felt like I was coming out was because of a broken heart. And the first person that I could actually talk to about it was my older sister. I knew that I could trust her, and I knew that she loved me, and I knew that we had a very close bond, a close relationship. It was just, I just remember it being a very liberating moment for me.
I, as a non-binary person, genderqueer, gender neutral, I love coming out day more than most because I had to come out a couple times, and it can be a scary time in your life. I was so lucky to have a drag mother who was also a trans mother to me. She helped me understand how I could retransition into a non-binary person, from being cisgender male to transgender female to now a non-binary, gender neutral, elephant human hybrid queen.
When I came out as trans, I was already 23 years old, and I was working at Callan-Lorde Community Health Center in New York. I saw all sorts of folks working there all along the spectrum, the LGBTQIA plus spectrum, living quote unquote normal lives, seeing people that were like me and maybe further ahead in their transition. It gave me the confidence that I needed to start my medical transition and know that I had a group of people that were going to be supportive no matter what.
Coming out for me was a little different than some people because first in high school I came out as gay, first to my aunt, and then when I was 20 years old I came out to my best friend Candace that I was trans. She was a ride or die. We went to go get my ear pierced, but it was just really nice that she was kind of nonchalant about it. Like, oh yeah, okay, well this is who you want to be. be it. I ended up being her maid of honor in her wedding. I ended up being her makeup artist. I made her wedding dress and I was her maid of honor. And that was so awesome. It was like the ultimate sign of sisterhood and the ultimate sign of acceptance.
I told one of my best friends in high school because I knew that she wouldn't judge me. The only other out two people at our high school were her friends, so I felt like I was safe with telling her. And of course, like, you know, I told her and she was just like, okay, and wanted to continue whatever conversation that we were talking about.
Okay, the first person I came out to was my mom. And I was like helping my mom take her braids out. And I was like revealing all these things about me that I had never told her. I was like, I think I like guys. And she was like, well, my mom had the kindness and the generosity to act really shocked by this revelation.
I was like 20 years old. My sister is one of the first people I told that I was gay, so I was still kind of nervous because like I had already kind of come out and started telling my friends, but this was the first family member I came out to. And so I just kind of blurted it out and I was like, okay, just rip the Band-Aid, girl, rip the Band-Aid. She came to all of my very first drag amateur nights and I couldn't have done all this without the support of my sister in those early days.
It's crazy to celebrate National Coming Out Day 8 years after I dropped my first coming out video on the internet. I saw one, I got inspired, and I just felt bold enough to share my story with the world.
I know for a fact that once you come out, it is one of the most freeing. If you've never understood the concept of having wings, come out from something that you are hiding and just come out and you will actually feel wings growing out of your back and lifting you up into a more positive place in your life. Your bravery can inspire someone else, so tell your story.
And I just want to thank my best friend Elisa for allowing me to come out to her 10 years ago and showing me love and support and making me feel confident in who I am, enough so that I'm strong enough to share that with the world. So thank you so much, Elisa. Cheers to you.
But I just want to raise a can to all the amazing people that came out before I did, that gave me the bravery and the courage to be able to do it myself. And if you all need somebody to hold your hand, hold the hand of House of Barefoot 2020, because we are stepping out with you and we're raising a glass to those that stepped out before us.
Cheers to my brother Jeremy for accepting me always for all of who I am. I love you!
Honey, to all the people that came before me, that came out so that I knew I could be brave enough to take those steps. And if you haven't been able to take those steps yet, know that you are not walking alone. Eureka's here and the whole House of Barefoot 2020.
Celebrate those who never left your side.
It's time to sparkle and slay.
Because you are loved.
Oh, thanks, Barefoot. Woo!
Ooh, y'all didn't think a bitch knew how to catch a can.
I think that it is important for us to find a tribe of people who can be there to support us. If the blood can't support you, then somebody out there will.
And Anessa, if you see this, I love you and thank you so much for making me feel okay.
To my sister Rahana, cheers to you. I raise my can.
Here's to my high school best friend who helped me come out. Mwah.
Even if you've come out years ago, why not share your story today on National Coming Out Day, because you don't know who you will inspire.
Happy National Coming Out Day, everybody.
Woo! From the House of Barefoot 2020.